adverbs. So I just want to kind of preview and talk through the lessons to get you going on this new NoRedInk assignment. So here's the deal. You have to do the lesson first. It's not long, but you really, if you don't read it, you might be lost and it's really just going to waste your time. So let's see. What does the adjective describe? We talked about adjectives. We did NoRedInk work on parts of speech in quarter one. So we're like really just kind of like circling, we're looping back around to it. So the relationships between nouns and adjectives. Adjectives describe nouns. A noun is something that's what, right? So, and the adjective is what kind, which one, or how many. So the ugly cat hissed at me. Or the adjectives can describe nouns from many places in a sentence. The lizard crawled on the red rocks. The chair's leather arms look comfortable. Noah is happy to be outside today. After his journey, the astronaut looked extremely tired. So this is kind of an interesting one to notice where it says Noah is happy. Then this is where the is a linking verb, and then you're just saying happy. Okay. And then what else do we got? That's kind of it. This one's really straightforward. Let's go to the practice. Why wouldn't it practice? Oh, I think because I already did that one. All right, so let's look at this one. Identifying adjectives before nouns. This is saying the same thing. Again, adjectives describe nouns. What's a noun? Person, place, thing, idea. Adjectives usually come before the nouns they describe. In English, this is most of the time. In Spanish, it doesn't always work that way. A lot of times, a noun, especially say if it's a color, will happen after the noun. But in English, it goes before, right? Like you say, Ava is wearing orange shoes. In Spanish, you would say like zapatos anaranjados, right? An alien, a friendly green alien. Okay. Proper adjectives are also still adjectives, right? Like kind of proper nouns. So Carter loves Italian food. So it's Italian in this case is not a person like saying, oh, Carter is an Italian, but it's Italian food. What kind of food? Russian literature, Brazilian sneakers. So I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to do the checkpoint because then it'll give you kind of a rundown of all the different exercises in this section. So select all the adjectives. Don't include a, an, or the. Fine. Aretha Franklin has a Thursday reservation at the new restaurant in town. So what do we got? This is a noun, and we're looking for adjectives. So Thursday, that's an adjective because it's modifying what kind of reservation? A Thursday reservation. And then what kind of restaurant? A new restaurant. All right. Sirius Black won that Ferrari. What do we got? Sirius Black, that's a name. That. Okay, that is an adjective because that's a demonstrative adjective. So it's like pointing out like this, that, these, those. Those can also be adverbs, but not always. Okay, just as in the same way, there's a little bit of overlap between possessive adjectives and possessive pronouns. It just depends on how you use it. Miss Hoover works as a lifeguard's assistant. Zuri has 500 gadgets. What's the adjective? 500. You could say, Miss Wright, that's a number. Well, guess what? Sometimes a number is an adjective, right? Just like a cookie is a dessert. But not all desserts are cookies. So anyway, in this case, 500 is describing the gadgets. The rules didn't seem fair to Cedric Diggory. Fair, right? Because how do the rules? It's describing the rules. The rules don't seem fair. Ramonda bought, I don't even know who that is, bought 4 subscriptions to magazines. 4. How many subscriptions? 4. Hamish Abernathy is designing my dress for prom. My dress. Eleanor Wong left a small backpack on the kitchen table. What kind of backpack? A small backpack. And then that's a preposition, that's an article, that's a verb, that's a proper noun, that's a noun, kitchen table. And again, like you have to think about what a word is doing. Words can have different purposes. Don't get mad about it. It's totally normal. Just as in the same way, like pencils have different purposes, right? You can use a pencil in different classes. You could also use a pencil, uh, I don't know, to fight someone. But words have different purposes depending on where they are in placement of a sentence, um, and then just like what they're doing. All right, so the Friday barbecue is meant to celebrate Katniss Everdeen. Again, this Friday could be a proper noun, but in this case, it's a proper adjective because it's saying what barbecue? The Friday barbecue. So it's giving us more information about that barbecue. Primrose Everdeen thinks Greek music is loud. Loud, also an adjective, followed by a linking verb. So anytime you have that is or are, that's a linking verb. And so whatever follows it is mostly an adjective. All right, so we got that. Now let's take a look at the adverbs. Blah, where'd I go? Sorry, y'all. So here we are. Someone's stuck. I will help you. But next, what does the adverb describe? And which adverb describes the verb or adjective? All right, let's look at this lesson because this is important. So let's talk about the relationship between verbs and adverbs. For one, like look at verb, adverb. You can see verb is in the name of adverb. So verb is an action word, right? Like swim, run, eat, sleep, whatever. Adverbs tell us how, when, or where verbs happen. Ethan sleepily changed into his pajamas. You can see there that ly ending. That's a really common and kind of easy way to change a word into an adverb a lot of times, right? Lazily, sleepily, uh, things like that. Sleepily, right? And now it's just showing like you can put it in different places in the sentence and it still works. So that's why it's pretty nice that a lot of adverbs have certain endings that mark them as such, like ly, right? Sleepily, and Ethan changed into his pajamas. Ethan changed into his pajamas sleepily. Ethan changed sleepily into his pajamas. Doesn't matter where you put it, you know that that is an adverb, and so it's going to be modifying the verb. All right, let's see what else we got. This is a when kind of adverb. Yesterday. When did Jacob play? He played yesterday. Why is that not an adjective? Because it's not modifying, it's not giving us more information about a noun. It's giving us more information about that verb played. Okay? And you can see you could move things around, right? Finishes painting today. When? Today. Outside, Dave saw a monster. So where did he see a monster? He saw it outside. And then how does Mike draw? Regularly. So a lot of times that ly ending, that's for the kind of adverb that's saying how something happens. Like I ran slowly. He walked quickly. All right, and then identifying adjectives that adverbs describe. This is where it gets a little bit juicy. An adjective is a word that describes a person, place, thing, or idea. Describes it. Okay. A person, place, thing, or idea, that is a noun. So an adjective describes a noun. However, here's where it gets fun. Adverbs often describe verbs, but they can also describe adjectives and tell us to what degree, right? Like, so if you're thinking like on a tape diagram or a number line, those are intensifiers. The deer is very happy today. So how happy? Very happy. Elijah is extremely excited, and James's shoes, ew, are kind of smelly. So here's an example of a lot of the adverbs of degree. Are there more than this? Yes, of course, because English is amazing and there's tons and tons of words. But here's some common ones, right? Incredibly smart, quite funny, pretty amazing, absolutely true, rather boring, right? So those are the things you use to give a degree to the adjective. Here's what's great about these. If you feel like you don't have a super rockin' vocabulary, you can't think of a bunch of cool adjectives off the top of your head, you can use adverbs of degree to give a little bit more subtlety, a little bit more specificity, I guess you could say, to the adjectives that you do use, right? Like you could say nice. I don't like that adjective, but you could say that person is incredibly nice. You can say that they're pretty nice. You can say that they're a little nice. They're rather nice, somewhat nice, right? So do you see what that does? Like you kind of picture like, well, on a scale of 1 to 5, how nice is that girl? You can say, oh, well, they're somewhat nice. All right, so that's a little bit on adverbs and adjectives. So let's just look at how this practice is going to start. Hamish Abernathy ran downstairs when the doorbell rang. And what am I supposed to do? I can't tell you, I can't stress how important it is to read the instructions. The bold verb is an adverb. Okay, so there's no question there. We know it's an adverb. But which verb, dear student, does it describe? Which verb? Which verb? Meaning what I need to highlight is a verb. Well, rang is not about downstairs, right? It's about ran, right? How did he run or where did he run? He ran downstairs. Let's try another. Chance the Rapper was quite nervous about changes to his bike route. All right, so this is one of those adverbs that's describing an adjective. It's an adverb of degree, right? So how nervous was Chance the Rapper? He was quite nervous. And then finally, Miss Hoover eats chocolate ice cream frequently. It's an adverb. What verb does it describe? Well, there's only one verb in this sentence, so that makes it super easy. Eats. All right, so that's a little of that one. Let me exit this preview. Oh, you know what? That'll be enough for today.